Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen, today I want to talk a little bit about Sofi Technologies Incorporated. This is obviously ticker symbol SOFI or Sofi. This is a stock that we've been covering for past couple of weeks. It's been, I don't know, close to probably 2 months at this point. Been covering it on most of the trading days because people really like this stock. This is a very popular retail trader stock that people are excited about, and it's very fun and interesting to follow and make content for because it's very volatile. It's moving up big and down big kind of all the time, so there's usually something to talk about there, and there's tons of news, tons of catalysts, and tons of things to be excited about and to debate about for the future. You know, there's some things that people think are going to be massive, and here's XYZ reasons why SoFi is going to be insane as far as a growth company in the next 5 years, and then, you know, the skeptics and the haters or whatever that have their points on the other side as well, why it's not going to work out. So, you know, there's really a whole lot that goes into this SoFi topic, but obviously today was a pretty good day, up 2.77%, and in this video we're going to be going over all the latest news stories and talking about what's going on with SoFi. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton, and subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Help us run those numbers up. But with that being said, let's get right into this. So, as I said, SoFi up 2.77% today. That is awesome. You know, just kind of a steady climb the whole day. You know, opened at 11.55 and just kind of up and up until a close at 11.89. Now, we are down like 0.5% after hours, but that's after hours on a Friday. I don't really care about that too much. I'm not reading into it too much, and it's not like there's any news or anything that has it down at all. And that's such a small drop, you know, 0.05. Who cares? 5 cents off the stock. Overall, today was an interesting day in the market. You know, Dow Jones down a little bit, S&P up 0.5%, pretty good move. Nasdaq 1.5% up, that's pretty strong day. And then the Russell was 0.5% up. So, you know, the market was up a little bit, and SoFi was up a pretty decent amount. Obviously, 2.77% is a really good day, but year to date, stock still just struggling, down 24%. But hey, SoFi is not alone. A ton of stocks in the market are struggling right now. A ton of stocks are, you know, at 52-week lows. You know, SoFi is a little bit off its 52-week lows. 52-week low of 10.51. I think that was a couple of days ago. And it's now at 11.59. So it's up like $1.50 from there. That's a decent little jump. That's something. You know, we're starting to move in the right direction. But still, you know, it's not like we're in like an upward trajectory or anything like that at this point. It's still not very many green days in 2022 for SoFi just yet. So when you do get a 2.77, even though it's not a 5 or a 10 or a 20 or a 56 like Snapchat or whatever, you still got to be excited and happy about these green days. So getting into some of the news now, we have this. SoFi CEO told Jim Cramer what big news made him very emotional. The online lender recently got huge news from the Federal Reserve. So, you know, they kind of go into this here that Noto told Cramer on a recent episode of Mad Money that he got very emotional after receiving word from the Federal Reserve that SoFi's banking application had been approved. This application process involves a lot of regulatory hurdles and hard work, which makes this approval represent a huge milestone for SoFi as a company. So obviously, Anthony Noto was very emotional about this for a couple of reasons. One, because all their hard work paid off. Like it says, you know, there's a ton of regulatory hurdles. I'm sure this was a long, grueling process. You know, it's taken a lot of months. It's taken a lot of time. It's taken a lot of work. I'm sure there was a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of anticipation, and there was a lot riding on this. You know, if they messed something up, or if this failed, or if this got delayed or got pushed back, that was going to be really bad. You know, it was going to be a bad look for Noto as a leader of this company, and it was going to be bad for investors. It was going to be bad for, you know, everyone. People were really going to be questioning and pointing fingers at the management, you know, depending on how long this thing took or if it went sour or whatever. So that's great. But then also, I think he's getting so emotional because he knows how much it means. He knows how big and how important this is, how much this can really impact the growth of SoFi, and how everyone's going to be happy, everyone's going to be excited, and everyone's hopefully going to be making a lot of money. You know, SoFi should be able to reduce their costs, should be able to increase their revenue, should be able to get closer and closer to profitability. This bank charter is good on so many different fronts. Again, it's not a shock at all that, you know, Noto was very emotional when he got this news, because it's got to be a weight off his shoulders, but also he understands how important it is, obviously, as a guy in his position. We also had, you know, people talking about the new user data. Obviously, as we get closer and closer to the Q4 earnings report from 2021, people are asking, you know, how many new users do you think that will report in March? Share this poll for better data. So I don't know how many. Okay, it says 414 votes. I haven't looked at the results yet. I'm just going to click on the highest answer. I don't think they're going to have between 700 and a million, but I just want to, you know, try and not influence the voting as much as I can. So, I can't even see this, I don't think, because I'm not logged in. But, there are different people projecting, how many new users SoFi had. And obviously, it's going to be a very, very big deal depending on how many we get. We'll have to see. But a lot of people are saying as well that it's not going to matter as much what quarter 4 looks like. More people are going to be looking at that earnings report, for guidance. More people are going to be looking at their quarter 1 of 2022 to see, how impactful this bank charter actually is or is going to be. And they have the Super Bowl going on and all that stuff. And I really think more interesting is going to be the rest of the quarters in 2022. Quarter 2, quarter 3 in 2022, once the bank charter really actually gets implemented and gets underway and they, are able to really start utilizing it. I don't expect quarter 1 to be as crazy, but the rest of the year I think is going to be very, very interesting. So, obviously, that's another thing right around the corner that people are starting to talk about and get excited for. We also have this. Some people are asking, this is pretty high up on the SoFi stock subreddit, when is SoFi going to go global? And he says, I know about SoFi Hong Kong, but I heard that the company has plans to expand to Latin America. Do we know when this is going to happen? If SoFi went global, would it be a huge deal for the stock? And it seems like a lot of the comments, people who really like SoFi are kind of in agreement that it makes more sense to focus where they already are at, focus on Hong Kong, focus on the United States as well, primarily because as a growing company, as a company that still is trying to get their footing and trying to really get a grasp on, their services, getting to profitability, all this stuff, like, hey, how about we figure out the United States first before we expand globally? Expanding into Latin America is great, but, if we still don't even have a strong brand or strong foothold necessarily in the United States, like, why are we going to waste resources and further money trying to go global? And I do agree with that. I would really like to see, SoFi focusing more on the United States and focusing on really, they say they want to take away from the institutional banks and the big financial institutions and stuff that are here. Well, let's do that. Let's focus on that. And then that'll make it easier to transition into some of these other places, like Europe, like Latin America, like China, whatever. But, if you're not even doing well in the United States, if you're not even taking full advantage of this, then and it seems like a lot of other people worry that you might be spreading yourself a little too thin. So I hope, obviously, if they want to dip their toe into Latin America, whatever, I think that's fine. But I do hope that they, are not diverting too many resources away from the United States, because obviously there is a massive, massive opportunity here in the United States, especially with some of the cool stuff they're doing, like the 1% interest on checking accounts. They still have so much room and growth and all this stuff to do. And you want to keep some growth for the future as well. You want to really hit home runs for growth now, but then also 5, 10, 15 years in the future, then you can still, expand globally. You don't want to do all the growing right now and then not have any left for the future, because that's obviously not great for stocks and stuff either. Some people are talking about, what would happen if to SoFi if Biden cancels student loans. And people are saying, hey, it's going to get taken care of regardless. It's privatized. There would be less future income from student loan refinancing. That's what I think this comment doesn't really understand. Yes, if it's privatized, some of those loans are going to get paid. They're not going to obviously cancel private loans. But yeah, people aren't going to be able to refinance if their loans are wiped off the books, or the loans are gone. Whether the government pays for them or they forgive them or whatever. If there's not a loan, then you're not going to be able to refinance with SoFi. So I do think this guy's saying it would tank the stock. I don't think it would tank the stock, but it would definitely be a hit to their overall revenue because, student loan refinancing, while it's not going to be a majority of their business or a huge part of their business, it's going to mean something. And it's going to be a solid little moneymaker for them. Student loans are pretty rock solid in terms of, getting those things paid, making your money on them. So, I don't know. Kind of interesting there. We also have this, people saying, gotta love it. I thought this was kind of funny. The fact that Investor Place, an hour apart, posted 2 articles. They posted, SoFi stock is set to become a legitimate financial powerhouse. And an hour before that, they posted, SoFi stock gets bank license, but that's not necessarily a good thing. And I know people are kind of getting mad at Investor Place for playing both sides, but I will also say, yes, they are one website, but they have multiple different writers. Just because one writer is bullish on SoFi doesn't mean the whole organization, the whole company has to be. 2 different writers can have 2 different opinions. They can have 2 different angles. And also, they could just differ on this thing as well. Some people could think, hey, bank charter, bank license, it doesn't really matter that much, or it's going to have some other issues. And maybe you still think that, SoFi has a chance to become a financial powerhouse independent of, the bank charter, bank license, whatever. I don't know. But just because, Investor Place wrote 2 different articles, again, they are one website, but they're not one person. So I wouldn't read too much into that. And then finally here we have this. This was one of the top posts on the Reddit today. The bank charter opens up so many new revenue streams, and this was a screenshot that somebody got about. Here's a new way to diversify, introducing investment property loans from Sofi. And like they talk about in the comments a little bit, obviously investment property loans, you're gonna have to get some more down payments. You might have to pay a higher interest rate. It's just another opportunity for Sofi to be able to get loans out to people and to just bring in extra revenue. Obviously these are going to be a little bit different than traditional home loans, for people to live in and stuff, maybe a little bit riskier or whatever, but still it's cool that Sofi is continuing to broaden their financial offerings, and that's really, really cool because again, once they get customers in, they have more services to offer them. If they can get them to use multiple, if not a ton of the Sofi services, that's just more money for them to make, and it also reduced customer acquisition costs because you just have to acquire that customer one time and then spread them out to all the different services you got, especially if they're a happy customer who has a good experience. Like, hey, they're gonna use all your stuff. So that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about SOFI. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.